Thank you to everybody who is showing up at the class or in the class. It's been a journey. So like I always do, I like people to, I want to be sure that we're actually tracking. Thank you, the emotion. I can see some new faces here or some new names. I see Majono, B. Grace.
Yeah, they are here to know what we are doing. Just leave them, all those new ones, so that they will not run away. Don't give them assignment yet.
Okay, I can also see Adida Potemitope. Yeah, I'm just trying to recognize Anemorayo Oluwa Solis. All right, you're all welcome, and I want to say this is the Empowerment Academy of the Cretogen. And then for those who have been coming before, or those who have been coming before, can you in one word tell us? I can't see mommy here. Where is she? Where is mommy Ademosun?
I will call her.
Yeah, she has been a consistent member of the class. Some people have been on and off. So just in one statement, what did you learn last week? I want to just go around those who were in the class last week. I'll start with okay. Okay. Falaka is also new in the class. All right, you're welcome. Okay, quickly let's start with Evangelist Adeogun. Just in one statement, what did you learn in class last week?
Sir, good to have you around again.
Thank you.
I learned on maximizing your potential. You have the capacity to build yourself to a very great height beyond what you could have even imagined. If you are able to identify strength, build on it, and get the necessary requirement, necessary resources needed, and I was able to put in for a course and I finished it within 1-2 days.
Cool.
So and building capacity, it's building resilience, and then being able to stand out irrespective the excuses or irrespective of challenges that could come in one's way. So
Cool. That's something very awesome. You started the course and uh, you finished it in 2 days. I'm recording to myself, so please maybe I'm hearing myself again. Okay, it's okay now. So you started a course and then in 2 days you're able to do it.
yeah,
That's a very good
yeah,
report. Yeah, that's a good report to hear from people because people think that you need to spend 2 years to do a course, you know. So if you see my eyes is red, you know. I was writing an exam overnight. Not tonight yet, last night, and I've been at work too. So I'm trying to, get it all together. But one good thing I want us to learn from that report is this. And that's what I wanted to set your mind at. There's nothing that you cannot know. There's nothing that you
yeah.
cannot know. There's no knowledge that you cannot search out. So you
Mm.
may never have done you may never have done medicine before. But I tell you what, there's nothing that says that you cannot become a doctor finally in your life. That's one thing. Yeah, nothing is possible that I cannot do. There's nothing impossible that I cannot do. As long as your mind is set towards it. There's something I put in, one of the things we are supposed to talk today, and that is 4 pillars of success in life. What are the four pillars of success in life? Number one is self-discovery. Number two, um, I don't have it crammed, but I'm going to, yeah, is here right in front of me. Um, Yeah, he said 4 pillars of success in life. Number 1, self-discovery. Number 2, vision. Number 3, mindset. Number 4, execution. Self-discovery, vision, mindset, execution. Vision, discovery, mindset, and execution. These are key things that are going to make you become successful in life, in just those 2 things. You discover yourself, you have a vision, then you have a mindset, and then you're doing it. You understand? There's so many things that people know in life that they don't do. So that's a good key takeaway. Set your mind at it, get onto it. Let me shock you. About 2 months ago, they introduced me to a professor in one university in the southern part of the United States. I've never met him, but you know what? When they sent me his profile, so I'm a communication director in one NGO. So when new people are coming on board, so they always refer everybody to me. So I need to talk to everybody anyway because of my position. So when I saw his profile, I'll be like, wow, this person has, I think, 4 PhD in his lifetime. And he has bagged, I don't know whether I think around maybe 50 awards, international awards, not in one thing though, in science, in art, in business, in this, in that. I said, I need to check out how old this guy is because I can't imagine even somebody with 4 PhD is trying to drink water on top of it. How come with somebody with 4 PhD and I check his age, the guy is just 56. 56. And he got all of that. Though that doesn't, yeah, that necessarily doesn't mean that he's successful. I want us to understand that. But it's a challenge to you that at 56, that person got so much. What have you done with your life, even at 40? What have you achieved? Because I just imagine that, where did he get all the time to do all of that? And he can conveniently speak 7 languages as part of his profile. He can speak Mandarin, he can speak Spanish, he can speak English, he's from he's from China.
No wonder.
He said, he's from China and he can do all of that. So set your mind to this, possibility that there's nothing I cannot do. If somebody has done it, if it's human being that do it, so if it is angel that probably did it, I may not be able to do it because I'm an angel. But if it's what human being have done, honestly, everything is about mindset. You are not dull and you are not brilliant. That you are dull or you are brilliant is about your mindset. If you think you are dull, you are dull. If you think you are bright, you are bright. And that's why they say, as you move up in your studies in life, once you pass, once you even in your first degree, once you finish your first degree and you are trying to do your second degree, you know what they will tell you in class? They will tell you every answer is correct. Have you ever been in that class where lecturer tell you that whatever you say is correct? If they say 1 + 1 is 3, but you don't want to you don't say that when you are doing your first degree or you're secondary school. 1 + 1 is 2 in primary school, in secondary school, in higher institution. But when you start pursuing third degree, second degree, third degree, then 1 + 1 can be 100. Because at that point, you have formed your own formula, your own idea of life. And for crying out loud, you may be able to prove it to anybody that 1 + 1 is 100. So that's why I'm saying that as you grow on in life, the result you get is largely even determined by you. God, for me, take it from this class that God is a constant factor. God is always for me. God is not against me in any way. So if I'm not talking God, I'm not talking about human ability, but I'm saying that let us say that God is always with you. So your own portion, your own contribution in your life journey is that you should set your mind to knowing that there's nothing you cannot search out. Deuteronomy 29:29. What does it say? It says, those things that are revealed, he said those words, he said, belong to us and our children forever and ever. So meaning that every one of us, we have a revelational knowledge. You have it. Because the Bible says you possess it, you and your children, oh, forever and ever is your own. So it's up to you to search out, to dig out things. And one of the most powerful skill, I said to you, one of the most profitable skill that you will ever have in life is the skill of research, to search deep into things, to wake up at night and say, I want to get to the root of this matter. I want to get to the root of this matter. I'll give you another personal testimony. Today is Friday, Saturday. On Wednesday night, 1 a.m., at exactly 0:44 a.m., I was up. I checked my mail. There's something somebody told me that lady, you've got, it's not easy to get into. Last year I put on the application, and at 44 a.m. on Wednesday morning, I said, you have been approved. You know, that license is government license for some certain things, and it's something you don't get. And then it's been, in fact, for a long, I didn't even, me myself, I've suffered because I started using other people's license to do that and all of that. So and I found out that it's not people that get it. I don't know, human being. You know what I did? In fact, it took me hours and hours, and I said, look, I'm not asking nobody. I got to a point in my research, I was just pressing it on my computer, whatever it opens. And you know what? As I was pressing, something just opened, and that was what I was looking for. I said, wow, this is it. Because I got so tired that I don't know what I don't even know. And everybody kept telling me that, look, that thing, it's for some kind of people. I just click on something, and my sister, and it just opened. It's a code, it's a number. They said that code, you have to find it on that website. But people are not ready to tell me. People are trying to hide it. And at the point I got so frustrated, I was pressing, I'm telling you, practically, I was pressing anything. If anything that come out, let it come out. If my computer will blow, let it blow. I'm tired. I've been on this thing since last year. And then, wow. And I saw the code. 206. About 7 digits. I said, God, boy, I was clapping for myself. I said, you did this, man. And I got that code, put it in. They've sent me that. I don't know where to find it, but they wanted to find the code. And I found it. And I put it in. I said, how did you do it? People are saying, and I said, I got this thing approved. I got this. I said, how did you do it? How did you do it? I said, you don't know. You don't know that this research, like I always tell Baba, you will pay for it. You need to develop that research. Take a challenge. Now, you are not researching because it's about money. You are researching because it's about value. Are you getting me now? See, and I've told us in this class, the greatest thing you can actually look for is value. Value naturally will bring money to you. Forget about the money, have the value. Forget about the money, have the value. Do you know, I have a friend, and that's why I realized that this my friend has so much challenged me. I talked about him here sometimes ago about even this thing that I'm doing here, this speaking that I'm doing. Are you getting me now? At a point when I met him, I told you he cannot walk. He uses clutches, but he read the Bible to a point where naturally it's not like he's doing spiritual thing. No. Naturally, Bible began to became everything about him. If he's talking, Bible had become translated, to a lot of things about him, that he had added so much value from the Bible that honestly, the last time he showed me his check, he was speaking somewhere in Nigeria. They paid him 10 million naira. I'm telling you, before God and man, I saw the check myself. He didn't tell me with mouth. He said, Femi, look at it. 10 million naira to speak for 1 hour at Ebonyi State, Ebonyi State of Assembly. And he said when he comes to Lagos, he said he spoke at Lagos State House of Assembly. They paid him double. But he showed me the one for Ebonyi. Now, he didn't start with the money, but he was adding value. And I read to us here in one of the, at some time, there's a part of the Job, I don't know whether Job 21. He said that has been one Bible passage that has almost make his head turn upside down. And what is in that Bible passage? That Job 21 says that, I know what you know. I am not inferior to you. He said, I know what you know. I am not inferior to you. He said there's no place in this world. And when this guy speaks, I'm telling you, you will not know when you just cash him all the money in your account. Not because he's doing anything, But by the time you see value, something you want to connect to value, say, what's this guy talking about? When I was in Nigeria, I was selling is one CD like this. One CD, selling one CD for 500,000. CD, 45 minutes talk. He just talk on, I'm CEO of Banks are buying that CD for 500,000. He didn't do that CD because he want to make that much money. But when value comes, money will just, even if he say, he said some people pick up for 1 million. They just say, no, 500, no, bring it for 1 million. 45 minutes. What was he talking about? Vision. If he gave me a copy free, he said, Femi, God is you, because I know you know the value. But I will not give nobody free. And he gave me that CD, 45 minutes talk on vision. When you hear it, I am telling you, you will break down. Somebody heard that thing and he was crying. Somebody heard that and he was crying. I said, what does this guy, what does he say that I don't say? But it's value. And he had researched to a point where you will never know that this guy is working on clutches. He works on clutches. He cannot walk. He's lame. But then you know what? He has added so much value that his physical condition cannot bend his destiny. His physical condition cannot amputate his destiny. But some of us are here, before you have one small challenge, say, life don't scatter. He doesn't have legs, but he's sponsoring so many people who are with 2 legs. They go to him to beg for money. He doesn't have legs, though. He's sponsoring people who have legs. Thank you, Evangelist Adeogun. Yeah, who learned something again last week? Tell us something very beautiful that you learned last week. Mrs. Oladeji, Pastor Mrs. Oladeji, you were in class last week. I know. Are you there? Now I'm getting people that are sleeping in our class. Are you there, or you're not sure if you're muted? Okay, I'll take who's there again? Who was there last week? Crystal Gym TV, is that Oripeloye, Pastor Oripeloye?
No, it's Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, yeah. Crystal Gym TV, you were here last week, right?
Yes, sir.
Just one statement. What did you learn in class last week? I want to be sure we're tracking.
About capacity building.
Okay. What was one thing you learned? That's general. I want to what about capacity building?
How it can help us to be self-reliant and to be self-sufficient.
Anyway, maybe that's your research, but I'm not sure if we talked about how to do that last week anyway. But it's good. You are in class, but anyway, yeah, that's a good try anyway. But I think we did much more than that. Last week, basically, we're talking about why capacity building, and I mentioned 7 things to us. So if it's one thing. So yeah, thank you, Brother Emmanuel. Yeah, who was in class again last week? Who was in class? Okay, just what of Mommy Adi Motion? Were you in class last week?
You are in the class. Talk. You are in the class now.
Just one thing that you learned.
Talk.
I think I can.
What did you learn?
Better move forward, Sam.
Okay. Mr. Oladiji, are you there?
It's not, I don't know.
She's not. Okay, maybe she just stepped out. All right, please, if you're in class, like I said, make sure you're here. I don't want us to, because we are not on camera, because of that, not be be here. let's be here so that we can actually maximize this. Now, as we go today, I'm just going to tell us about areas that you need to, areas of your life that you have to build your capacity, that you need to build up. You need to build up. I'm not going to include spiritual. I want to take it for granted that you are working your spiritual life. You know how to build your spiritual life. You have to keep praying, read your Bible, make sure you are preaching the gospel, offer service in church, make sure you're doing something in the vineyard. That's going to be your capacity. And I know a lot of us are doing it, but even if we're doing that, yeah, it's good. It's good to pray. It's good to go to church. It's good to do, village outreach. Somebody told me yesterday they've been at village outreach since on Thursday, and they'll be there till in Nigeria. I said, that's good though. They've been at, so it's good to build their capacity for Christ. They've been there till they will finish on Sunday. So which is a good one. So, but today we're also going to be looking at other areas where you need to build your muscle, areas of your life, 7 areas that are very key, very important for you to build your muscle. But before I do that, I want to say this to you too, insight that I wanted to go with, insight. I know a lot of us I've been sending assignments on the platform, but I've not been getting, I've only been getting 1 or 2 of us have been responding to those assignments. They are key. Mr. Ladiji, you are back. Pastor Mr. Ladiji.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You stepped out or you step aside?
Yes, I wanted to call the other pastor that I invited last week.
Oh, okay. Is he here now?
No.
He's
Okay,
not
fine.
here.
Okay.
I can't find him.
Okay, quickly. I was just asking to give us one thing you learned in class last week. One thing that that stuck with you.
Okay. Last week I learned the power of observation.
Mm.
Then you gave us 2 insights. In whatever we do, we should learn to respect.
Mm-mm.
And we should make our achievements so simple. We shouldn't try to be blowing trumpets.
Cool. All right, thank you very much. That's a good one. Observation, you need to observe. Anyway, we'll talk about that some other time. The power of observation, very good. So I need us to, keep those things on. Those are very good points. You need to keep in your, also on your left palm so that you don't forget it. Thank you very much, man. Let me quickly run our insight to the number one thing I put down. 2 things I wanted to say about our insight today. And then the first thing about the insight I want us to take note of today is that you should learn to maximize opportunities. And in fact, if I'm going to rewrite it, write it in your book that there's no small opportunity. There is no opportunity is small. Are you getting me? No opportunity is small. No opportunity is small. How many of us know Sunday Adelaja? Sunday Adelaja, you know him? Pastor, is it pastor?
Yeah.
Ukraine man, yes.
The Ukraine man, is he a pastor or is he a prophet?
Pastor.
He's a pastor, Pastor Sunday Adelaja. He's been in Ukraine for a very long time right now. Why did he go to Ukraine? He just happened to he was in Unilag, and then he said he was just in the congregation, and then he said the person who was supposed to preach in that assembly, the person that was supposed to preach that didn't come, and he said, "Brother Sunday, let me preach you." And the minister did not come. Said, no problem, and he jumped on it. And he jumped on the opportunity, and you know what? God really moved through him that day. And anyway, just like I said, he did not see it as just fellowship, small opportunity. And he did, and he did excellently well. And there was a person in that congregation who said, "Look, you need to come and do this in Ukraine." That's how he found his way to Ukraine. Somebody, you got to come around and you need to come and preach this message in Ukraine. And that was how he found his way from Unilag to Ukraine. He said it so, and that's why you never can tell. You never can tell. So that's why, even if you are given the opportunity to come and talk to 2 people, make it like you are talking to 1,000,000 people. You are talking to maybe they are small children. No, when you have opportunity to minister to your children, to your family, even in family devotions, don't just maybe this is my husband and my wife. Let's just no. Use it as an opportunity to train yourself. because you never can tell. Opportunities come when you least expect it. So don't think any opportunity is small. You understand? So treat every opportunity as special, as important, as big. Guess what? In January, I went to speak in a mosque. I was invited to come and speak at one, Muslim event here in Texas. And then, all they gave me, in fact, they were so jam-packed, I was just going to talk about some key things that has to be around empowerment like this. So they gave me 10 minutes. I was supposed to speak for 45 minutes, but because they had so much they are doing in their salatu, they gave me just 10 minutes. And I got on there and I said what I wanted to say. And I left. And when I left the hall, because I didn't even stay, I just spoke in their hall. They were doing their, their prayer and all that. So I knew that hall, they were about, they look like about 200 of them. So many of them, where did all these Muslims come from? Anyway, I spoke and I left. But when I stepped out, almost 10 people run after me. They said, please, can I have your number? Can I have your number? Can I have your number? I said, this is my number I want to collect. I gave you a number of them. So they started telling me their problems and blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I left that place, I forgot, because honestly, my head said, I have too much in my head. But it's good. Anyway, I started listening. So one of them who got my number, I think on Monday this week, just called me from the blue. He said, you have forgotten me. I am Alpha, so. I said, Alpha. I'm trying to remember. So I was trying to crack my brain. So he now started saying, I was one that told you this, that told you that. I said, okay, Alpha, honestly, I can't remember he told me all of that. I just, that's true. I shall have to lay along that I remember. So he now said something that actually struck my mind. It was a 10 minutes opportunity. He said, since January, that is why I am calling. I have taken action. I want to tell you what I have done with it. That statement cannot let me sleep. That's the way he was just like chatting on phone. He said, I need to tell you about it because I did what you said we should do. See, my life has changed. That's what he was telling me before. He said, he was just telling me all this stuff. He was so excited, but I can't remember meeting him anyway. But what I'm trying to say is that you don't want to treat 10 minutes as trivia. Should be 10 minutes me. Let me just give them summary. The 10 minutes I had, I told them straight from my heart, and I left. And this man was calling me since January. He was calling me on Monday night. I know the number was, the number was started. I know the number started with 214. That was not it, and it wasn't shown on my phone as scam. I was like, 214, this around 8 o'clock. Okay, I pick it. And he said, I said, and he said, so. And I feel like, oh, good. But what I'm trying to say is that maximize your opportunity. I've never even preached Christ. But you know what? That is going to give me further opportunity to begin to introduce some other things as we go along. If I've jumped in and said, come on, give your life to Jesus Christ, maybe they will stone me. You understand? But you know what? I have commanded a level of influence with some of them that they may want to give consideration. In fact, after that meeting, right now, I have three of them who are my ardent follower right now. They follow my writings. They call me for advice. They want to, they are top people in their circle there. So that's okay. Right now, there's somebody who called, Imam of Texas. He sent me a text that Moni Kinkin is out. That's their biggest, I don't know, when they taught Imam in the circle, that's their biggest chief. And he was sending me a text that, a couple of nights ago and say, let's just saying hello to you. I said, thank you. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Treat every opportunity as special and as important. Don't trivialize anything because you never can tell where your opportunity is going to be. Number two, the two things I want to say on Insight today is this. See everything you've gotten as a seed. Everything you have is a seed. Your time is a seed. Your money is a seed. So, in your head, always think about how you can multiply it. They say time is whatever. I mean, time waits for no one. Time is short. Time is not enough. But you know what? If you have in your head that there's a way I can multiply my time, there's a way you can multiply your time. Can you research into that? How do I multiply my time? What can I do to multiply my time? What can I do to get more out of my time? What can I do to get more out of my time? Let me talk about money now. What can I do to get more out of my money? I have a friend, I know him personally. If today he has $500, he just has $500, just come from nowhere, maybe like a dash. Tomorrow he will call in. He will call them in the office tomorrow. I'm not coming to work tomorrow. I have an emergency. Emergency that I will find a way to go and enjoy that money. He cannot have extra money. Like somebody just some manna just fall from anywhere. You know, we have it once in a while. Once in a while. And then that's when you want to go and start dancing gelede. Think about how you can multiply every fund in your hand. Let me tell you something. Virtually every one of us are Christians. God is not unjust. God is not a bad God that he will not make you have what you need to live comfortably. But too many of us, we have missed our opportunity in small seed. In small seed. You think you need to have 1 million before you can be rich? Some of us, all that God gave you to change your story, to change your life forever, is 10,000 naira. He had given you one 10,000 at some point in time that we expect you to put into something that would have turned things around for you, and it will shock you how 10,000 can become 1 million. And how 1 million can become. Oh, some people say, oh, the reason why I'm not is because I don't have 1 million. See, if you don't know how to work with 10,000, you cannot know how to work with 1 million. You don't get it. You think it's a lie? Some of us are here that 10,000, you cannot save. You cannot save 1,000. If you have 1 million, you cannot save 100,000. You cannot say, I'm not talking about tithe now. I'm talking about you. Let's even tithe now. You know, so many. I'm not talking about, but I'm saying savings. Look, I'm going to deny myself. I'm going to deny myself. So it might not be savings now, but you need to develop the multiplication mentality. Multiplication mentality. How do I make more? How do I make more? How do I make more out of this? How do I make more out of my time? How do I make more out of my talent? How do I multiply my talent? Let me give one of the things I do. One of the things I do to multiply my potential. Every year, every January, I think about how many. I always designate a certain number to people